How you doing there, guys? My name is Dustin. Some of you guys may know me as Pone Star. 27 years old, I live in Columbus, Ohio, and I really love Garden Warfare 2. I love Garden Warfare 2. Guys, I love it. So, true story, it wasn't always romance. I still remember the first time we met. It was a couple years ago. I saw the trailer. I'm like, dolphin guns, this looks interesting, but come on now, I'm a man. I'm a man's man. I eat potatoes with the skin on, and naturally I'm like, I'm an adult. This thing looks like it's made for kids. It's marketed for children, right? It looks cartoony and silly, and, initially I was going to pass on it, but EA slipped into my inbox and was like, hey, Pone Daddy, how you doing? So I'm going to give you a free copy of this game, the original Garden Warfare, and if you like it, we would love to pay you for you to play the game and post it. And I'm like, fine, if you're going to twist my arm like that. And I gave it a go. I was blown away. The first one was one of the best games I played in the last decade, and it does a few things better than most titles nowadays. But one of the big ones was it nailed the fun factor. Now, I can have fun playing other games, but the games themselves are not necessarily fun. It's not a word I'd use to describe most shooters. Now, I could say enjoying or entertaining, but not necessarily fun. Generally, if I'm having fun with a game, it's because of the company I'm keeping, because I'm playing with friends and we're just smiling and laughing and having a good old time. There's something about this game that makes you feel like a kid again. It brings it out in you. It's just so approachable, and not only for an adult, but for kids alike. This is a neutral, classy game. It's a lot of fun for all ages, all sexes. Boys, girls, squirrels, 5 years old, 25 years old. It's a really good game for everyone. And the cool part about it is you can play this game casually. That's why it's so easy for kids to pick up. But it can also be extremely competitive. There's a lot of hidden layers there. And this game is extremely deep. Each character has 3 abilities, as you can see on the bottom right side of my screen. And there are 14 different characters. Some characters are more support characters. Some are more tank characters. Some are ranged. Some are close quarter infantry based. So there's so many different characters in the game, not to mention that each one of these base characters has numerous variants that change the way that characters played. So it's kind of like having 100 different characters in one game. That's a lot of variety. And one of the most awesome things that I applaud them for is they do a great job at balancing them. And as sad as it is, the state of the current multiplayer experience in shooters is not in a good place. I can look over to my right now, look at the arsenal of games that I have, and I'm like, oh, Destiny, Call of Duty. I know at any given time I throw that game in and there's probably 2 or 3 overpowered weapons that completely trample over the rest of the options out there. The fact that I own a game, and though it has 200 options and guns I can use, if I'm using any of them besides the OP ones, I'm going to suffer for it. But when I pop this game in, I'm kind of like, hey, what do I feel like playing tonight? How about the cob? Okay, now what kind of cob? Barbecue corn, party corn. Oh, let's go with Pop's corn. You honestly do not know how refreshing it is to be able to experience all of the game and not be limited to just a few weapons or a few characters because of the balance issues. It's really cool that they did that balance so well. Bravo to you, sirs. Now, the gameplay itself is amazing. It's cartoony, it's simple, it's fun. There are a wide variety of game types to play. With the variety of different characters and the variants on top of them, you can always switch it up and have a refreshing experience, and that replayability is quite nice to have. The cool train doesn't stop there. The customization and the collections inside of this game are phenomenal. There is so much to do, so many things to collect. As you can see on the right side of your screen right here, Mr. Toxic Brains, woohoo! You can see that specialist logo. There are ranks that you can level up each individual variant. Not the characters themselves, but the variants. So if you see here, I've got a Master Electro Brains. That's the highest rank that you can obtain, and that's the 6th rank. Specialist is the first time, so it's kind of like prestiging each character individually, and if there's some that I haven't played much of, like Cosmic Brains, he doesn't even have one yet. I've not touched him at all. Now you can see the level bar there, and that it can be increased and influenced by your quests. There are quests, so the more active that you are playing the game, the more multipliers that you can gain and eventually get up to a 2 times experience multiplier to start leveling up these characters even quicker. So that's something to do, a goal to aim for. And you can also tell by the names over there, there's also rarities. There's rare, legendary, which is Toxic Range, which is the highest one, and they are definitely quite rare. You need some extreme RNG luck to get one of these things. Now, I want to show you what the customization's like on this thing because there are tons of them. So I can go a little crazy. I can make him, none. I can give him hair. I can do all kinds of really, really cool things and decorate him any way that I would like. So as you can see, there's so many layers to this game. Most people just look at it and judge it by the cover, and they completely miss out on how awesome it is. And as you play, as you compete, you level up your character, and you also earn an in-game currency at the end of every one of your matches, and you do earn a considerable amount. I can open one of these packs of stickers pretty much every time I complete a map. That is a lot of times for testing your RNG. See how popular CSGO case openings are? And I can pick these. Maybe I want a consumable pack. Maybe I want one that gives me customization items. Maybe I want one that gives me character pieces so I can have more variants to customize and work and play with. There's so many options for this game that add replayability and give you goals to work for, whether or not it's collecting all the items and variants, whether or not you're trying to level up your character and push yourself. You have leaderboards you can compete with your friends and your players with. There's collections, and there's just so much to do. And they execute it so well. I honestly wish there was something that I could point at to say I don't like about this game, but for the most part, it's just so well-rounded. I would honestly give this game a rating of 8.5. I would nominate this game for Game of the Year. I have so much fun playing it. It's so well balanced despite all the variables. Most games nowadays don't have too much going on and they fail to balance their game. And it's a sad standard. It's sad that that's become acceptable. And this game has not only one type of character, but 14 types of characters with multiple variants, multiple different abilities that you can customize, and they still do a great job at balance. That is crucial. So yeah, a game that's balanced, a game that has so much to aim for, so many goals, collectibles, outside things in the backyard, leveling up individual characters, opening packs, earning currencies, collecting all the cosmetic items. There's so many in-game things to aim for. The replayability is great because of the variety of characters and variants that you can play with and switch up your play style with. There is such a depth to this game that just honestly isn't respected, and it's one of the best games that I've played in like the last 10 years, man. It's absolutely so much fun, and I would truly recommend this to anyone. It really is amazing. So with that, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, leave it down in the comment section below, and hopefully I have made you consider this. If not for this, maybe for the next one that comes out. I think you're cutting yourself out of an awesome opportunity if you don't give this game a go. I mean, just look at that. How many games can you honestly be eaten whole by a guy wearing a turtle for a hat with a rocket on its butt? I can't think of any. That's right. This game's awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening. And if you haven't yet, check this game out.